And triggers are what, in fact, my definition of a trigger is the background music that I'm dancing to. That's why it's very, you'll find these different genres of music in the book. Eh?
Oh, good.
So the background music that I'm dancing to when I'm interacting with my child during an intense moment. And it's made up of my feelings, my thoughts, my belief systems, my experiences from the past. We bring all that into the environment with our children.
Hey everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's Lifestyle Thursday. I'm having a conversation with Dr. Carol about parenting with a heart in mind. I mean, absolutely powerful. And where we started, triggers.
I know.
And those are my triggers. That was a loud voice from heaven. Those are my triggers, exactly. I told you about my daughter. So we're going to ask why. Because when I picked up this book, I was like, wow, but why did you write this?
Why did I write that? Like I said, I'm a therapist.
Okay.
And initially, the population, the age group that I would get as clients were children. Because, I mean, when I started out 15 years ago, people just going for therapy, it wasn't something that happened easily. But then they were very quick to send their kids. Yes. and you know, and in many of those situations were not even professional therapy, but because they know what I do, they're like, "Ebu enda uongeleshe huyo mtoto," you know.
Let's see whether you'll get through.
Exactly. Yes, because amenishinda, because you know all these things. So so I would work with them, and I would still use my expertise and the tools and all that. And what I love, and I've talked about it in the book, is children are malleable. Yes. Children are open to experiences.
Yeah.
Children they soak in. As long as you are providing the right environment, they just respond. They just respond. And of course, then they would come and we would sit down and we would do the play therapy and the art therapy, and I would listen to them and I would give them the coping skills that they needed. And I could tell, you know, I was making a difference in the therapy room.
Wow.
Then guess what?
Oh, they go back home.
Yes.
Oh, and the difference ends. Oh, I wasn't expecting us to go that way.
Oh,
really? But I knew this because in the therapy room, everything is flowing.
Yeah, because there's a certain environment that they're responding to. But then the bigger picture, Angie, is that there's an environment that caused them to come to therapy in the first place. And so I just felt like I wasn't doing enough. I even go to a place of burnout because kids will come back after a couple of months exhibiting the same issues.
Yeah, so then you start maybe questioning yourself and your techniques.
Exactly.
Yeah? Which is what a good therapist will do. And it's really not about you, it's about the environment.
Yeah, it's about the environment that they're going back to. And so I just slowly transitioned from working with kids to working with parents. And with parents, what I do is to just let them know, number one, not every child who comes to therapy needs to be in therapy.
Okay, good.
A child needs a parent who is confident in what they are doing, a parent who is clear, a parent who is wholesome themselves. Wow. They are working on themselves. They are self-aware. Okay, and then you give them the skills to be able to provide that environment that I was providing.
In the therapy
In the
room.
therapy room. So not necessarily to do the play therapy and the art therapy, but to provide an environment of acceptance, an environment that is nurturing, an environment that, you know, makes the child connected to you, because when our children are connected to us, they respond to those other things better. And I see it with my son over and over, because at one point I will just be in that mode where I want to fix things, you know, let's do this, blah, 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 blah. But then when I transition into let's hang out, what's going on with you and all that, when that place is sorted, somehow these are the things that I'm trying to
they flow,
to fix. They align. And really, and even research tells us that, you know, that if you want great outcomes for your child, in terms of, you know, what parents say, I want them to have a meaningful life.
Meaningful relationships.
Meaningful relationships, be successful, and not just successful, but fulfilled, you know, resilient, good, sound mental health. All that depends on how you are showing up in the space of relationships.
with your children.
With your children. And so
It's powerful.
it's just about inviting the parent to ask, who are you being? How are you showing up in your day-to-day interactions with your child? When they do something, when you're having an intense moment with them, and we have many intense moments with our children, how are you reacting? Are you reacting or are you responding? Okay, because there's a difference between that. And when we react, we are pushing our children away, you know. So parenting with your heart in mind is about beginning to ask yourself, in this moment that I have just received a report from school that my child bullied, or my child, you know, has been saying they have done homework for the last 2 weeks, and then, they haven't been doing. How am I feeling? Because what I'm feeling will probably be something like rage, not just anger, you know, frustration, okay, and that will determine how I react to my child, and eventually it will determine whether my child will learn anything from this whole space. What will they learn? That when my mom, when I do something wrong, mom gets overly reactive, and this is how grown-ups behave, and she yells, or she spanks, or she gives me a 2-hour lecture. So this is how we communicate when we are angry. Or will I be able to step back, take a deep breath, and say, okay, fine, this is not the right thing. What you did is not right, but I'm going to take a deep breath and ask, what lesson do I need to teach my child in this moment?
Wow.
Okay, so that we are less reactive and more responsive. And that's what I invite parents to do, to just explore.
Do I need to go away first and deal with my anger, then come back? Because you can say this, but the reality of life is when I get the report, I'm going to react.
Yes.
So do I go react by myself somewhere, then come back and think how I'm going to respond to this whole thing now?
It's a journey from reactive to responsive, and that's chapter 12 of the book. Is a journey, actually. And it's something that you will definitely make mistakes when you start, and you will react, and you will yell, and you will do all that. But more and more you are aware it's anger that I'm feeling, and it's so powerful to be able to own your feelings. And we don't know how to do that as Africans.
That is true.
You know,
we don't.
Yeah. So
we were taught how to respond.
To
react.
Exactly.
Yeah. My mom used to say, like, you know, when you do that, World War V is on the way. You know, just taught how to do things.
Yeah.
So do you find that when you're parenting, when you're doing this, that even the parents are getting therapy?
Oh, yes.
So it's also helping their own lives.
Yes, it is. It helps their own lives, because when we talk about triggers in the book, and we talk about
triggers.
And triggers are what, in fact, my definition of a trigger is the background music that I'm dancing to. That's why it's you'll find this different genres of music in the book.
Oh, good.
So the background music that I'm dancing to when I'm interacting with my child during an intense moment. And it's made up of my feelings, my thoughts, my belief systems, my experiences from the past. We bring all that into the environment with our children. And then now we are unable to make objective decisions in the moment. And the book is also infused with a lot of compassion, because this is where we are coming from, all of us. That's where we are coming from reactive. So it's step by step, just allowing yourself to be more responsive, to be more aware, because the relationship with your children depend on how you show up. And that relationship will determine your child's outcomes in the future. So I really invite parents to just look at the dynamics of their relationship with their kids.
Wow, and I think therapy is more accepted now. A lot of people are going to seek the help that they need, which is very encouraging.
Yes,
which is very encouraging. So how do they get a copy of the book, and is the program still running? Yes,
now the program has gone online.
Okay.
Yeah, so I am at Dr. Caro Chakua on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Dr. Caro Chakua. And once they get there, there'll be information about how to get to the book.
Okay.
Yes.
And get to the program.
Yes, and also get the program.
So how long is the program?
You know what? Initially, it was a 10-session program, but I'm getting parents with different needs now. So I'm not really just sticking to the 10 sessions. I have those that I work with 5 sessions. So it's become very individualized,
which is good,
depending on the need of the parent.
Wow.
Yeah.
I even like this. There's a self-reflection for parenting. What fears do you hold? List them down.
Yes.
Because that is breakthrough.
Yes,
that
it
we
is.
can acknowledge
exactly
our fears.
Yes. And that's the book. It has it has 12 chapters, and every chapter has a self-reflective exercise at the end of it. So it's a very personal journey. And what I'm seeing people do now is they're buying them as a group. So if you have a chama, you know, and church group, siblings, you buy the book together.
And let's do this together.
Yes, you walk, and then you can invite me 1 or 2 sessions to provide guidance. But it's a very also simple, easy book that you can flow with. I don't complicate it. I don't put a lot of scientific.
And it's really done well.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
There's even a proverb, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. And then I love this. Do you see your child for who they really are, warts and all? And I love the poster child syndrome. If there was a genre for this trigger, it would be heavy metal and rock.
Boom, boom,
this
boom.
Ain't no jazzy or classical music stuff. Oh, I love it. I think we have to do one more session with you,
sure.
Dr. Carol. So I hope you're enjoying yourself, please. Dr. Carol Chakua.
Dr. Carol Chakua. Then the doctor is DR, not doctor the full.
Just
full
DR.
Doctor. Yeah.
You need to get in touch. We need to have healthy families, healthy children, healthy citizens of the nation. Please contact her, and we'll join us next week for the last and final session. God bless you. Bye-bye.